All right, there you go. So, good morning, everyone. Good to see you again. A week has gone by, but a lot has happened. And yeah, I just wanted to just share a little bit of recap of what's been going on in our community today. Oh, if we can get, yeah, the slides coming up. So, today is, or this past week was the second week of our community devotion of moving towards higher ground. And I want to show some photos of all of you guys. Oh, being able to yeah, just meet with one another and spend some really meaningful time as brothers and sisters. Some, I think most of you have food, had food. Of course, it's just one photo here that shows that you had food, but I really like where Aunt Fatu and Takako-san were. I don't even know where that is, but that's a really beautiful fountain. Are they here? Could they tell us? Oh, this is the Parker Roses. Oh, okay. Well, I guess during this spring and summertime, the fountains are up and it looks very beautiful. And of course, everybody's having a nice smile, meeting one another. And these are just some other photos that I've received. Um, so yeah, when you do have your meetups, please don't forget to take a photo and send it to Yoko-san so that I also can see just how you guys are able to spend that wonderful time with each other as brothers and sisters. And I don't have a photo of it, so that's why I'm just putting up the announcement slide for it. But this past Monday, we had a guest from all the way from New Jersey, Mrs. Toshiko Sato, who took some time to share about the Later Project. And there was quite a crowd. Thank you so much for coming to show your interest and learning about the Later Project, how True Parents' vision for that particular place. And so many of our brothers and sisters, particularly from Japan, have been investing and continues to invest here today. So thank you for offering showing your support and learning more about the Later Project. And also, don't have a photo, but just yesterday, the young adults gathered for their monthly living room gathering. And this time they gathered at David and Lisa's house. And David, was it good? It was good. And so, yeah, I'm excited to hear more reports about that. And finally, my family was able to visit two families this past weekend, Mrs. Megumi Lindstrom and also the Tanaka family, Kenshu and Naomi. Their son Reikun's not photographed here because grandparents were taking care of him, so we can have a more focused discussion. But it was a really wonderful opportunity for me to be able to meet these brothers and sisters. And Megumi-san has a lot of stories of her personal encounter with spirit world, whether it be through prayer or, as you know, her husband has already passed on to the spirit world, so she has a lot of communion with her husband and just being able to share these incredible, deep stories that she has and the lessons that she learned. And with the Tanaka family, I learned that they actually attended a 7-day workshop in Ukraine, of all places. I was like, oh, I didn't know that, back in 2019. And yeah, just being able to learn about their individuals' histories a bit more as a couple, but also I was reminded a very important point about what it means to be in that subject position with it between in a relationship, and the power that subject has in being able to give love and what it can be moving to people and what people are really seeking when they are receiving love, when that subject is really centered and being able to express Heavenly Parents' love, then just how miraculous things can happen as a possibility. And so it was a good way for me to just reflect and just be able to have that wonderful time as brothers and sisters. So yes, I put up this photo. I think we all are very much aware now what's going on with our true mother. The news came out, the courts had their hearing, and for those who may still be unaware, our mother, Holy Mother Han, the prosecutor has asked for a 13-year sentence in prison for our true mother. And this is not the verdict. It's not completely decided yet. Actually, the court has up until August 31st, next month, the end of next month, to be able to make a decision whether to lessen that sentence or stick with it, or our lawyers are going back and forth on this now. Excuse me. And I think this past week you may have received some statements from Reverend Dunkley. Together, he met with Dr. Balcom, who is the regional director for Europe and Middle East, and they released a statement together because they didn't want to just wait for what World Mission Headquarters statement to be released. And then as soon after they released their statement, they had a meeting, all the regional directors together, and then they released another statement, united. And I hope you were able to get that reading as I sent it out this past week. But I also want to read from True Mother's words. Actually, this is her final statement during that hearing on July 10th. And so, let's read. I have dedicated my entire life to serving heaven and realizing a peaceful global family for humanity. I do not seek power through money. As the leader of the Family Federation, I offer my deepest apologies for the controversy that has arisen, unintentionally on my part, in various areas. Throughout my life, I have traveled the globe championing the true family movement and emphasizing that realizing a peaceful world requires us to serve heaven. It breaks my heart that the very person I trusted and to whom I entrusted everything has brought about the current situation. Even now, as the world is torn by bloody conflicts and wars, I raise my voice to declare, let us serve heaven. I have consistently called for unity among nations that serve heaven, urging them to come together as sibling nations to welcome Heavenly Parent to earth and fulfill the dream of a kingdom of heaven on earth. I believe this: heaven is alive. Heaven will certainly realize that dream on earth. The second and third generations of the Unification family who will carry this work forward are stepping out into the world as true children who serve Heavenly Parent. With April 2025 as a pivotal moment, I have established the environment necessary to realize the Creator, Heavenly Parent's dream on earth. For this, I am deeply grateful. Now that the roots have taken hold, we shall only flourish. I believe with certainty that the peaceful, global family, united in serving Heavenly Parent, and the world of peace we have so long awaited will surely come to pass. Until the day my life ends, I will continue to move forward toward that goal, wherever I may be. I will pray that this nation, blessed by Heavenly Parent and standing as a chosen nation akin to a second Israel, fully upholds its responsibilities, and that its people do the same. Let me reiterate, such unfortunate incidents as we have seen today must not occur. Moving forward, I will pray and offer my heartfelt wishes that we become a people and a nation that secures a beautiful future for our descendants. A future free from war and conflict, where a kingdom of heaven on earth, centered upon heaven, can truly unfold. Thank you. Holy Mother Han, July 10th, at the Seoul Central District Court. So, that's the updates, Mother's words, and this is Mother's stance, even at the point of being faced with 13 years of prison suggested onto her. And we all know that she has nothing to do with even being part of that court. She has done nothing wrong. And this is all just based off of one person's testimony that such a thing is coming to or bringing up this situation. And President Dunkley had a Q&A and prayer call just last night with the continent, and about over like 650 Zoom screens were present, many joined by as a couple or as a family, so I'm sure there was many more people attending. But yeah, on that, throughout, there was a question that was asked, kind of comparing to our true father situation when he was in Danbury. Father was able to share a lot of words, and we were able to receive Father's words even while he was in prison. But True Mother, unfortunately, her situation is very much more contained. She's not able to meet so many people, and even being able to meet people, it was only about 10 minutes when she was at the detention center. But then ever since she moved to the hospital, security has been so much more tight, in which her words, she cannot really express herself freely. And so this statement is what we have in terms of her latest words. But I think I want to bring your attention to the fact that I think Mother, she is the strongest among all. She is still hopeful for the future that this world will be able to become and realize a world of peace. Despite her as the center of it all is imprisoned and detained, she believes and trusts in each and every person in this room. In her statement, she was directing towards the nation of Korea and calling it the second Israel, and being able to fulfill its responsibility to receive our true parents. And that she, amongst all the challenges and the adversity that she's facing, she is holding on to hope. And that's the message I really want to be able to share with everybody, is that, we may be angry, we may be upset, some of us may feel down and feel maybe lost, knowing the situation that our mother is in, knowing the situation that our worldwide movement may be in Korea and Japan and all around the world, and the conflicts and the wars that she also alluded to. But we, despite the challenges, we need to also be hopeful. Because this is not just for us to feel good and better about our days, but this is the attitude in which our Heavenly Parent lives by. God was hopeful at the time of creation. And it was a big blow to his heart seeing Adam and Eve fall away, which has been the starting point for all of humanity to fall away from Heavenly Parent. But the reason why we exist and that God's providence, the work continues, is because God is hopeful. God has shared that he is the Alpha and the Omega. So what was at the start, in the beginning, the starting point was love. The true love, the parental love that Heavenly Parent has for all of us and for all things. That it will be the same at the end. We are just still in the process of it. And so as people who are going through the process, we have to be able to keep our heads held up high and see that light at the end of the tunnel and be able to keep walking towards it. And we see this time and time and again throughout human history, especially through the Bible. Just for an example, Abraham and his wife Sarah, they were very, very old people when they were able to conceive and give birth to their son Isaac. But prior to that, God has already blessed Abraham, saying that you will have many, 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 many descendants, and you will be known as the father of many religions. And, Abraham, to become a father, he needs a child. He may have had children with other mistresses or maybe other slaves and all, but to be able to have a child with his one true wife was a miracle. And even biologically, it was a miracle. But God promised and God delivered. We also see other cases of like Noah. God promised Noah to, or God gave Noah the command to build an ark. There wasn't too much details, or at least the Bible doesn't explain much details between the conversation between God and Noah. But Noah knew that he had to just build an ark. And that's the right thing to do because God told him to. And lo and behold, 120 years in the Bible accounts, the flood came. Noah and his family was safe, survived the flood. They were able to survive, and all along with other creatures and the animals. And the rainbow that showed at the end of their time being in the ark was God's promise that there is land that you can settle again and you can again multiply on this earth as my children. We see Jesus. He never gave up hope. Even till the last moment of his breath, he gave his life so that he can live according to Heavenly Parents' will. And he gave the prophecy or to the world that I will return and be able to bring about true change into this world, to be able to bring about what he came to bring, which was the blessing as God's only begotten Son, someone to fulfill God's dream. He had promised that even if his life was cut short, there will be another one again, the second coming to fulfill that promise. And so we have true parents. Christianity for 2,000 years, and up until this day, those who don't know true parents are still holding on to that hope, thinking that Jesus will return. But it's us who we have to be able to share the good news that the second coming has already come, and as well as the only begotten daughter. And so now, as a movement, as a global movement, we're faced with this challenging situation. We've been heard that there is one side, the Korean government, South Korean government, trying to push for a 13-year sentence on our true mother. But where are we going to go from there? We tried this past week. Thank you to everyone who participated in the petition for the leniency. This was what it was leading up to. And I don't know if it worked or not. But, we made our offering and that we gave it to heaven. So, of course, we can continue praying. We can pray for True Mother's situation. We can pray for the situation around the world. But we can also, to be able to have hope within our hearts and try to do what our True Mother is asking us in her final statements, which is that we are the people. We have given everything with True Parents' words to be able to unlock within ourselves, in our hearts, what we can do to build and establish the kingdom of heaven here on this earth, starting with our families, our spouses, our children, our parents. And when we can become that shining light, an example to our communities, then the rest of the world will be able to follow without any pressure and without us hesitating of who we are and the blessings that we received from our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. We can be the hope for each other. We can be the hope for one another, for the rest of the world. But as various stories, and even through our True Mother's example, hope itself is like a prayer, but prayer alone is not enough. With that hope, you need resilience. You need to be able to persevere until God's promise comes to pass. You need to be steadfast. You need to be aligned and one in heart with our Heavenly Parent. Hope is not just wishful thinking. It is confidence in knowing about God's promise and the blessings that God is going to be giving to us. So we must become the people who have hope in this situation. It is God's promise, our true mother's promise, that the future of the movement is bright, that we will be able to see and create a world of peace, regardless of what the circumstances and situation is now. This is only just the process. But we can work through the process to be able to achieve the goals that we have set for ourselves. And as followers of our beloved true parents, as followers of Jesus, we want to be able to have the goal of nothing less than the kingdom of heaven on earth. So let it start with us. Let it start with me. And yeah, of course, there is some maybe grief or just shock that you might be experiencing. So please take the necessary time to digest it and reflect on it. But let us not take Mother's statement as Mother being weak at all. Mother's hopeful. Mother has always had that mindset straight on Heavenly Parent. Let us serve heaven, she says. Let us serve heaven. And when we are able to connect to Heavenly Parent is filled with hope and wants to work with each and every one of us to be able to bring about real, true, substantial change for the better as we have received the blessing from Heavenly Parent and can share that with all of our brothers and sisters. So yeah, that's the message I wanted to share. Let's be hopeful and carry forward each day, one day at a time, one step at a time. Thank you.